Come on in, students. Good morning. This is the day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. I am certainly glad to be alive and glad to serve at this juncture of the history of Payne College. And let me say to you all, happy homecoming. Yeah, happy homecoming. Giving honor to Dr. Tillman, the Administrative Cabinet, to the First Lady of Payne College, to all of the faculty and staff, and especially to all the dynamic students of Payne College. What a great time to be alive and to be a part of the Payne College family. Today we're going to give what's called the State of the College Address. Well, let me also pause and recognize our Commissioner, Jordan Johnson, District 1. Let's give him a round of applause. And I want to share with you sort of where we've been in 1 year and where we're headed. I'm so thankful for the collaborative work of the faculty and staff that began over a year ago with the transition of a new president to the strategic planning team, which you'll hear about today, and the great work that they have done to lay out a strategic direction for the college. And then hopefully you will see yourself in the plan and think about ways that you can contribute both now and in the future. We're going to try to see if this will work remotely. Okay, I don't think it's reaching, Jeremy, so you'll have to do it for me. Okay, you can advance that. So this actually is in anticipation of what we call Founders Day. Payne College was started in 1882. You can advance that. By the Methodist Episcopal Church of the South and the CME Church, at that time was called the Colored Methodist Episcopal Church, and it was started as an experiment. And I know all the students remember this history from new student orientation and in other classes, but I want you to realize how significant it was in 1882 for blacks and whites to come together and decide that we're going to build an institution for the education and advancement of people of color in 1882. And they agreed that they would do it collaboratively and equally. It was a biracial commitment to social justice and to education and advancement. That experiment has stayed in place for 143 years. These two denominations, now the United Methodist Church and the CME Church, jointly sponsor Payne College. And we have representation on our Board of Trustees and on our faculty and staff from both denominations. It is a testament to what can and should happen when people agree to work together outside of the boxes. These people in the picture represent the founding forces. Bishop Haygood, who Haygood Holsey is named after, Haygood and Holsey, both of them, Bishop Haygood and Bishop Holsey, names are on the administrative building, and they were the primary moving forces in the establishment of Payne College. John Wesley Gilbert was the first black student, and first graduate and first black faculty member of Payne College. And of course, the chapel is named in his honor, and there is a major street that runs through Augusta University that's named after John Wesley Gilbert. And he was the first registered African-American archaeologist. Just a great history and proud alumnus of Payne College. And of course, we are standing on their shoulders. You can advance it. So, as I mentioned, this journey began over a year ago. In January 2025, I assumed the presidency, and one of the first things I did was appoint a transition team that would work with the president and help me come up with a strategy for the first 100 days and beyond. And this team worked hard with me, and we had some hard conversations. We told the truth about Payne's challenges, and you all know them well. We have overcome some of those challenges, but we still have a ways to go. But the only way you can improve is if you are honest about where you are. And so we had some courageous conversations about Payne's past and present, and then we began to reimagine what Payne could be in the future. I'm indebted to this group for working with me and helping to think about our future. I came also, as you know, in the midst of the beginning of a 10-year transformation plan. This plan, and you may not fully understand this, but it's almost an unprecedented plan. For 10 years, there are partners that signed up to say, we believe in Payne, so much so that we will invest resources for 10 years. And this is really important because transformation really takes that long. People often give up too soon when they're trying to turn the ship around. It takes time and effort. And it is a collaborative effort. It's not just the president, but it's a team of people that work on the administrative council, again, faculty and staff, student leaders who have input. You all need to know that you have a student representative on the board of trustees. And we just had a board of trustees retreat. I thought it was very helpful. It was a very positive experience for all of us. We had to cut it short because of the weather in Atlanta, but we got a lot of things accomplished. And you have, in fact, is PJ here? Stand up, PJ. PJ is your student representative on the board of trustees. And we have a trustee here, Butch Gallup. Stand up, Butch. This is one of our newest trustees, Mr. Butch Gallup. Thank you. So, as I mentioned, it's a collaborative effort. The Board of Trustees was responsible for bringing this president here. That's their number one job, is to supervise the president. They chose me and are working with me to set policy and, again, the direction for the college. I mentioned the partnerships, and of course, the transformation plan was already in effect. We're probably in the third year of a 10-year plan, and we're beginning now to really concretize the plan with specific goals and measurable objectives. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit more about today. So we had to make a shift, and in the 100-day presentation, I talked about this, and this is really just a restatement of the obvious, that Payne was operating with a deficit mindset, and that is death to an organization, when you're always thinking about what you don't have. You plan that way, you act that way, you manage that way, and that's not healthy for an organization. Eventually, the deficit ends up being nothing at all, and you have very little to work with. So we had to shift that mentality, and we know why, because it was a declining enrollment, rising operational costs, cuts in funding, over-reliance on debt or endowment spending, unexpected major expenses, and the causes are inadequate budget planning, insufficient fundraising, surplus labor. We had to think about staffing that was appropriate for the size of our institution, and recovery from a major disaster. Some of you all came after Hurricane Helene, but a few of you were here when that happened. It was devastating to the entire region, and Payne College is still recovering from that. And when you're already fragile, a crisis only exacerbates or makes worse the situation that you're in. So we have been digging for a long time out of a hole, but we're making progress. So we have to shift to an asset-based model. There's Ms. Payne. To an asset-based model, which is where we begin to think differently about who we are and what we have as an institution. You know, when you're down, you forget who you are and what you possess historically and contemporarily. You forget about all of the rich assets that you have as an institution of higher education and an HBCU, no less. And so Payne had to begin, and we're beginning to look again at ourselves and look at all that we have. This is a campus that's in a prime location. We have a beautiful campus. And some of you all, when you were thinking about colleges, you visited many campuses, some of which that really didn't have the space that Payne has. We've got room to grow. We've got facilities that are meeting the needs of our students, present and future. And so we've got to capitalize on the assets that we do have. You can advance that. People, physical spaces, networks, cultural capital, programs. All of these are assets that we began to re-examine as an institution. These are things that you can build with. These are building blocks, if you will, for building the Payne of the 21st century. So let's talk about the progress, and these are just highlights, but a lot has been done in the last year. We've begun to stabilize the enrollment. It was a time the enrollment was going up and down, especially after the removal of our SACS accreditation right before COVID-19 hit. So enrollment plummeted, and we had to try to stabilize it, and we've done that. The admissions team has done a good job of keeping us right above 300 students. That's not where we need to be. We need to have at least 500 students to really be stable, but we are trending in the right direction. You can see that applications have gone up. We are 51%, and I think it's more than this now. These numbers were as of December. These numbers have gone up so much more. So we're 51% ahead of where we were this time last year with applications. That's a good sign, because what y'all are doing, getting on social media and talking about Payne, is getting other young people excited about coming. Our presence in social media, in other venues, the fairs and other enrollment opportunities that our admissions team has taken advantage of has increased our applications dramatically, and that's a very good sign. Over 1,000 students already admitted, and I think those numbers now are closer to 1,500 students that have been admitted in the fall. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. So, of course, our job is to seal the deal with as many of those students as possible, right? Because just because they've been admitted to Payne doesn't mean that they're going to come. Right? Like many of you had several options, and you decided that Payne was the place for you. And we're hoping that many more students just like you will make that decision to come to Payne College. But it won't happen automatically. We have to work hard to get these students to enroll. We've got to talk about the story. We've got to shape the narrative of the benefit of a Payne College education, and we're doing better at that. We're using technology now to make sure that students fill out the intent to enroll form. If you were like me, first generation student, I didn't understand this whole college thing. So I got a letter in the mail that said I was accepted, and I thought that's all I had to do. Right? But there's a whole process, right? You got to follow up and tell the school, yes, I intend to come. You got to fill out your FAFSA, your financial aid. You got to sign up for housing. All of those things that you may not think about if college is new to you, and maybe you didn't understand when the guidance counselors were telling you what you needed to do. You just thought, all I have to do is show up, right? There's some things that you have to do. So it's incumbent upon us to help the students by making it as clear as possible, and we're doing better with our messaging there. So our goal by the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th, is to have 4,000 applications. That's our goal, right? So we're pushing in that direction. The admissions team has their marching orders of what they are to do so that we can increase the likelihood of students. At least 300 students, of that 4,000, at least 300 students admitted, keeping the admit rate right at about 75%. And that's really where you want to be. You want that admit rate, especially for open enrollment institution. Now that will change over time. We're becoming more selective as an institution, right? right? So those numbers will fluctuate, but 75% is a good number for you to be at for a school of our size. And we want at least 150 to 200 intend to enroll first-time students. Right? That'll get us over 400 students in the fall and get us closer to 500, which is where I really want to be. So that's our goal. So let's talk about also our progress financially. We received a National Park Service grant of $3 million this year, bringing our total to over $5 million in grants to restore our residence halls. Improvements have begun at Peters Campus Center and more to come at Mary Helm Hall. And we're going to go through another round of funding to help augment what we've already done and improve our footprint on this campus. Georgia Power awarded us a Resiliency Hub grant of $125,000. We received an HBCU Brilliance Initiative grant, and that cohort met in person a couple of weeks ago at Fort Valley State University. Only 11 HBCUs were chosen for this grant, and this helps us to improve our infrastructure, our operations, and our impact on community and economic development. UNCF, United Negro College Fund, picked a few institutions to give a grant toward enrollment stability, and we received a $100,000 grant. We received $2.5 million in Title III. That's funds for HBCUs. This is a new one-time award to Payne College because we had folks arguing for us in Washington, D.C. Yes, and we're grateful for their advocacy. Our senator has just included us in the budget, which I think was just signed yesterday by the president. We're going to receive $400,000 for STEM education because of Senator Raphael Warnock. Our fundraising has gone up considerably. We have raised over $1 million in the last year. And the staff and faculty ought to get happy about this. Many of them have been on furlough for 5 years. We removed the furlough off of all faculty and staff. And we've seen in a year, this is big, a turnaround from a deficit to a positive of over $1.5 million. That is major. And right now, we are working to develop a plan. We're working with Bank of America to get what's called historic tax credits and other funding to the tune of $37 million to renovate all of the residence halls on Payne College's campus. And of course, as I said, you got to have a team, so I'm grateful for the folks that we have recruited to be a part of the team. New talent, capable and competent staff to lead the transformation. Our provost, Dr. Tillman, our CFO, Ms. Huey, our new VP of Student Success, Dr. Cranford, and I'm proud to say she's a Payne alumna. Our VP of Institutional Advancement, Mr. McDaniel, our Interim Director of Athletics, Dr. Brown, the Executive Assistant to the President, Ms. Helene Carter, and our new Director of Data Analytics and Accreditation, also a Payne alumna, Ms. Charleston Lee. Let's give all of our new administration a round of applause. And we are seeking our reaffirmation with TRACS. We've had some challenges. I don't think that's any secret to you, but we have proven to TRACS that we are handling our business. We have begun to change the way we operate with our reporting and our handling of our finances. And with that, we are also preparing now to get a new accreditation in addition to our TRACS accreditation. I won't say which accreditor that is because you usually don't announce that until it happens, but we are working towards getting this new accreditation for Payne College, and we will keep you posted on that. Next slide. So now we're going to talk about the strategic plan. And again, my hat is off to Dr. Tillman and the strategic planning team for the work that they have done to craft a really exciting strategic vision in cooperation with the president. They heard the things that I was passionate about. They heard what we had talked about in our 100-day conversations with the transition team and all of the new opportunities that we see in front of us. This is very forward-thinking. It is very innovative. And this is the thing that's going to make Payne College stand out. We're going to experience a renaissance as we strive for preeminence as an HBCU in Augusta, Georgia. So as I mentioned, the preliminary process began with the appointment of the transition team that worked for 3 months. I gave the first 100 days address, which shared some of the findings from a SWOT analysis. And for our students who may not be familiar with that, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so we went through the exercise with everybody on the team, and we were honest about our strengths and our weaknesses. We talked about the opportunities that were in front of us, but we were also real about the threats that we're faced with as an institution. And that helped us shape a more realistic perspective of who we are. There's the list of the strategic planning team, and I'm going to ask if you would give a round of applause to the strategic planning team and the work that they've done. Next slide. So here's the vision. This is exciting. By 2036, Payne College will be a nationally ranked liberal arts university of 1,500 undergraduate students, 250 graduate students, and hundreds of online students that delivers a globally competitive educational experience with a graduation rate above 75% and a transition to graduate school with professional study or labor market placement of 60% within 6 months of graduation. Right? Notice that there are metrics here, and we'll go deeper. There's going to be a deep dive about all of the metrics, and we're developing a way to manage this and monitor this and measure this on a regular basis. We'll have a dashboard that we will be watching every day, every week to see how we're doing. Because, and they've heard me say this, when I first became a president almost 9 years ago, I met with another president to ask some questions. And the one thing that stuck with me that he said, you cannot manage what you do not measure. You cannot manage what you do not measure. It's important for us to measure everything. So students, when we ask you to fill out surveys, it's not a futile exercise. We need to gather data from you. We need to know how we're doing. We need to know how your classes are going. We need to know how the faculty are doing in those classes. We need to understand what your experience is in the residence hall and on campus and extracurricular activities. All of these things are important for us so that we can give you the best experience possible. And we want to make sure that you succeed, so we want to be able to give you the resources and the methods for you to succeed as students. So this is our vision. Next slide. Here's our mission. And we put this in one sentence. It's a little long, but the more we say it, the more you'll be able to recite it by heart. My plan is to have this mission statement posted strategically all over this campus so that students will see the mission every time you go in a building, that you'll see it on programs, that you'll see it on printed materials, that you'll understand the mission of Payne College, because this is our guide, right? This is our compass, if you will. This determines what we do, and it also determines what we don't do. We are not anyone else but Payne College. We are not Howard. We are not Fort Valley. We are not Spelman. We are not Morehouse. We are Payne College. And we have to be true to our mission. That's why it's important for us to state explicitly who we are. Here it is. The mission of Payne College is to be a community of learners and practitioners committed to providing a globally competitive liberal arts education that produces scholars, servant leaders, and social change agents for the world. How's that sound to y'all? And you, students, are our mission. You are it, because you will reflect this and then you will project this into the world. They will know Payne College because of you. You are the representation of Payne College, both now and in the future. So I want you students to become familiar with this mission so that you can begin to internalize it and embody it as a Payne student. And we'll be saying more about how we do this together. Next slide. So here are our core values for our strategic plan and our identity going forward: faith and integrity, intellectual curiosity, service-oriented, excellence and innovation, and heritage and leadership. These are our core values. I won't spend a lot of time on them. They should be self-explanatory, but these are the values that, again, we internalize as a people, and it becomes our identity as Payne College. These are the things that we will fight for, these values. So when a question comes up about whether we're doing something right or not, all we have to do is look at our values. What do our values say about Payne College as an institution? Next slide. So here is the strategic plan. Goal 1 is institutional excellence. Goal 2 is faith and equity leadership. Goal 3 is transformative community impact. And goal 4 is world-class arts and championship athletics. Now, it's important for any institution, when they develop a strategic plan, to not make it too broad and have too many expectations which you cannot meet. If you got 10 goals, I can tell you right now that plan's gonna fail. It's too much. You've got to cut it down. Now, the subpoints and the actions and activities that will bolster that goal, they may be more, but you only need about 3 or 4 goals. So these are the things that we will be concentrating on over the next few years. And it will take a while for these things to really stick, but the way it happens is through repetition. And I know we had some of our athletes go out because they got to get ready for a game, but the only way you can be good in the game is if you're good in practice. Right? You have to practice. Practice makes perfect. So we have to practice every day so that it becomes second nature. We'll develop what's called muscle memory. And I know athletes know what I'm talking about. Their muscle memory. So you don't have to think about it. It just happens. It's a natural, and that's what we want for Payne College. And we don't have to think about what we're doing to reach excellence. We're practicing excellence every day. All right? You all have heard me talk about excellence without excuse. We will no longer make excuses for what we don't have and what we can't do. We're going to do everything with a level of excellence. And we will repeat that every single day, students. And I hope it will become embedded in your minds and hearts as you practice every day to become who you are becoming. That happens every day. It starts now. Let's go to the next slide. So here's goal 1, institutional excellence. By 2036, establish Payne College as a model of academic excellence, operational effectiveness, and financial sustainability through innovation, accountability, and continuous improvement. This goal will be achieved through outstanding student success, faculty achievement, and global recognition as one of the top 20 historically black universities and one of the top 100 national liberal arts institutions. That is called aspirational, right? This is what we aspire to. And you've got to have something that you aspire to, right? If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So we are mapping out a road for Payne College and how we're going to get to institutional excellence. And it's these 4 things. I won't read all of them in detail, but strategy 1 is student excellence, curriculum excellence, faculty, physical infrastructure, digital transformation, and enrollment growth. So this is the first half of goal 1, right? Goal 1 is decidedly the largest of the goals, right? It's the driver. Everything else comes out of institutional excellence. So this is where we will put our big marbles in first. Institutional excellence. So this is only half of it. So the next slide you can go to talks about enrollment growth goals. And thanks again to the team for being aggressive. These are aggressive goals, right? Again, this is aspirational, but I believe that we can hit these marks. Right now, our baseline in the fall was 313 students. This fall, we hope to have 400 students. Right? I think we can eclipse that. Very doable, but you got to start somewhere, and then we will build off of that. By 2027, 480 students, and look at 2035, 1,500 students. So when y'all come back from home for homecoming, you better get here early so you can get a spot. This campus is going to be beaming again. And back in the day, some of y'all know, and I've got alumni here who remember when Payne had over 1,200 students, right? And it really wasn't that long ago. So we're going to return to those kind of numbers, right? And who knows where we'll go beyond 2036, but this is our target. And we're going to stay laser focused on the target. And it's usually how it works. When you start operating with excellence, like a well-oiled machine, it just happens automatically. So when we start operating with optimum effectiveness, you'll see these numbers grow. We'll have to turn students away because we won't have enough room for all of them. We will become much more selective as an institution as we implement this strategic plan. Next slide. So now here's the second half of institutional excellence, fundraising growth. You know, everything costs money. And we have got to raise some major dollars. We have demonstrated the ability to bring money, but we now need larger donations to get to where we're going. We have a large deficit that we've got to fill, and this strategic plan is going to require us to raise millions of dollars for scholarships, to bring top flight faculty, to endow faculty chairs, to bring technology to the campus. All of that costs money, y'all. So it's my job as the president and my VP of Institutional Advancement to go out there and convince people why Payne is a worthy institution to invest in, right? So we will have to work hard to make the case. But again, as the case is made, it will start happening naturally for Payne College. Fiscal stewardship, I have always operated under this principle, first as a Christian, then as a pastor. I believe that you have to be a good steward of what has been given to you. We don't own anything. In fact, as the president of Payne College, I'm just a steward for a season. I'm the 18th steward of this institution. There have been people that have gone before me that did the best they could with what had been given to them. And my goal has always been to leave an institution better off than I found it, right? That should be our goal, is to make everything better when you leave. And that's my goal. I want my track record to be that I had a consequential presidency, that Payne began to live again with new excitement about who we are as an HBCU. And you all know the history in Augusta. And I'm still happy today when I run into people, when I talk to alums. I'm so glad to see Dr. Millender here, and others who understand the legacy of Payne College. And there are people who will pause and say, I was impacted, influenced, taught by a Payne alum. I had family members who went to Payne, and they respect the institution because of their relationship with said persons. We want that same spirit to envelop this campus now, and for you all to be the exemplars of what Payne is all about. Globalization, this is not hard because the world is getting smaller. We are more interconnected as a world than ever before. And we have several international students, and that's not new for Payne College. Payne has had international students for generations. And this is really important because it carries the name of Payne College all over the world. And so we want to be able to build on the opportunities we have to become a global institution. There's nothing that keeps us from doing that now, Because of the access to technology, we can literally connect to people in an instant, right? So, and of course we have international students, and we want to expand those numbers. And the strategic plan is calling for us to be more intentional about being an international institution. I talked about accreditation. Not only are we going to strengthen our position with TRACS as a TRACS institution, we are also pursuing additional accreditations. And there are disciplines that have their own accreditation. You know, the business department is accredited on its own. We will seek accreditations for other significant major and degree programs of Payne College. Next slide. Goal 2 is faith and equity leadership. By 2036, Payne College will be a national model for faith-centered education and equity leadership, producing scholars, innovators, and servant leaders who live out the principles of Christianity by improving lives, advancing justice, and strengthening communities locally and globally. And we will do that through these strategies: faith formation and ethical leadership. Let me pause here for a moment to talk about how important this is. We have a deficit in our nation in ethical leadership, from the White House all the way down. And we're seeing people who are not only exhibiting moral lapses, but have deficits in moral character. And that happens in a couple of different ways. My big mama used to call it this: home training. Right? Good home training. You know, you taught values about the golden rule: love your neighbor as you love yourself. Treat people with respect and honor and dignity. Things that were just understood in our society that no longer are understood. And we see how politicians are acting, how corporate leaders are acting. They've become unscrupulous in their actions and activities. And again, these ethical decisions have to be addressed. That's what a good HBCU education does, right? You are taught morals and values and ethical behavior at Payne College, both in word and in deed. We're going to make that a centerpiece of who we are. One of my dreams is to have a center for racial justice and ethical leadership here at Payne College. Lord knows Augusta needs it, Mr. Commissioner. Augusta needs it. But the world needs it. And you all know, y'all excuse me, Mr. Provost, to talk about Morehouse again, Teddy. But Morehouse taught us our ethical responsibilities. It was understood when I graduated from Morehouse, wherever I went, I was going to be a leader. It was understood that when I showed up, and I didn't have to take over, I just have to present myself with ethical values as a leader. And that is my aspirational goal for every one of you who graduates from Payne College, that you will understand that no matter where you came from, what station in life, no matter what your degree is, no matter what your major is, that you are a leader when you leave this campus. And it begins today. You're a leader today. In fact, students, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, you are a leader. You're a leader, right? So you've got to act a certain way and think a different way. You are a leader wherever you go, and you lead in so many different ways. That's why the education at Payne is going to equip you to think critically about the decisions that you make, what you get involved in as a leader, and what you do not get involved in, right? That's what education does for you. Advocacy and social impact goes without saying. You got to be out there making a difference in the world. You got to stand up for someone other than yourself. Right? Yes, you need to stand up for yourself, but you also need to advocate for other people. Advocate for the least of these, for the disadvantaged, for those who are voiceless and hopeless. Your job is to stand up for them, because the truth is you wouldn't be here today if someone hadn't stood up for you. So we are going to recover and re-emphasize this as a part of the Payne education. Cultural expression, I love it. Ain't nothing like an HBCU, right? And we don't have to make it up or manufacture it. It just is who we are as an institution. Here we are in homecoming week. Like, everybody can't wait to get back here for homecoming, because there is a cultural expression of an HBCU experience that people, Kendrick Lamar said it best, they not like us. they not like us. We are who we are naturally, organically, right? And so we want to be able to parlay that natural, organic, authentic experience into other experiences, right? We should be impacting the culture of the city of Augusta in artistic expression and in other ways. Community engagement, we're going to be more engaged in the community. I'm so grateful to see more of our students involved in community service opportunities, right? I want to encourage that. In fact, Mr. Provost, I really want us to have a community service requirement for all of our students. A certain number of hours before you graduate, you have to do in community service, all right? Don't worry, some of y'all have already met the requirement. Some of you are already doing it, but it ought to be mandatory for every student to do community service, right? 25 hours in an academic year, 4 years, that's 100 service hours. That's very doable. Very, very, very doable. And you all should get excited about that and encourage others to be involved in it. I know our fraternities and sororities are already doing it, but everybody should be involved in community service. Listen, service is the rent you pay for the space you occupy on this earth. You need to give back and serve. Next slide. Transformative community impact. By 2036, Payne University will be a national exemplar of HBCU community partnership, fostering innovation, inclusion, sustainable growth, and environmental responsibility through dynamic collaborations across the CSRA and beyond. Payne will triple. I took liberty here, Mr. Provost, to take it from double to triple. We will triple our economic impact from $13 million to $40 million. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. And this is over a 10-year period, but this is building on our programs that we will have in the community as we grow, because economic impact is related to employment. So we will be hiring people who will live and work in the community. That's how you have an impact. And it's amazing that tiny Payne College already has a $13 million impact. Think about what that could be if we were more intentional in our planning. 40 million is not hard to do once we begin to expand our reach. Alumni engagement is important, strategic partnerships, economic impact, and neighborhood and regional development, right? This is kind of self-explanatory, but this begins to change the thinking of a role of an HBCU. We're not just an institutional, educational institution. We are an economic enterprise. We are a business, and we need to start thinking and acting like a business. People treat you differently when you act like you're a business. So we're going to make sure that we develop through the Payne Foundation and the Payne Development Corporation programs that will enhance the community around us. Next slide. And goal 4 is world-class arts and championship athletics. By 2036, Payne University will be recognized as a premier center for creative expression and athletic distinction, showcasing the talents, discipline, and moral vision of the African-American liberal arts tradition while preparing students for success in life, leadership, and competition. And we'll do that through, first, cultural leadership. I already referred to this, but this is a deliberate, intentional effort to build a real performing arts program at Payne College. And Payne used to have strong performing arts. We're going to return to that and strengthen that. We already have many partners who have said that they are working with Payne College to enact this. CeeLo Green, who some of y'all know, is our artist in residence. Wycliffe Gordon is going to be working with us. Russell Brown, you already know, will be working, and many other artists will become artists in residence and serve as an advisory board to the development of our performing arts program and eventually performing arts center. Championship athletics, y'all know I'm a rabid sports fan. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. We want our athletic teams to go all the way. We need some rings and some trophies and some championships at Payne College. I said we need some rings and some trophies and some championships here at Payne College, right? In every one of our sports. And I'm going to pick on Coach Lacey right now because he knows that our goal is to have the #1 HBCU golf program in the United States. We're in Augusta. And I'm grateful to Coach Lacey for maintaining our relationship and our partnership with Augusta National Golf Club, which is the greatest brand for the golf industry in the world. The biggest golf tournament in the world happens right here in Augusta at the Masters. And hopefully some of you all signed up to work the Masters. Y'all can make some money during spring break. I mean some real money during spring break. And I don't know if it's too late for y'all to sign up, but don't miss it next year. You all need to sign up for that and the exposure that you get. And you never know who you will meet. They're literally billionaires who are at the Masters, who you will encounter, right? And you got to know this, y'all. You always have to network your way to your future. You always got to be thinking about your next move, and you got to build your network. And you have one of the greatest opportunities in the world to network right here in Augusta. Literally 5 minutes from this campus is Augusta National Golf Club. Right? So these are opportunities, and we're thankful for our partnership with them to help build the golf program, but we want to build all of our sports programs and add additional sports in the coming year or two. And then holistic student engagement. We are concerned, y'all, about your total being. Not just your mind, but your body, your spirit. Everything about you. That's holistic development. And we want you to be engaged in ways that will help you be the best version of yourself. And this is just the beginning. But most of the most rapid part of your development happens at this stage of your life. I know you may not see it and understand it, but this is it, y'all. You are being hardwired for the great leader that you're going to become right now at Payne College. This is it. And our promise to you is to give you all the resources that you need to accomplish your vision for your life. That's our goal for you. So we're going to engage you holistically. We'll be developing more programs that will hopefully be engaging and exciting for you. And again, I talked about collecting data from students. We want to get more ideas from you. I will be pushing the SGA and our student leaders to gather more information to bring to me so that we have open communication between student leadership and administration. So please make your voices heard. And I think we're going to have a town hall real soon. So at the town hall, we'll talk about what your hopes and dreams are, what your concerns are. And I know you have concerns, and we want to hear them and begin to address them. Next slide. So here's the vision of Payne University in 2036. 1,500 undergraduate students, 250 graduate students, 10 master's degree programs, 20 baccalaureate degree programs, 10 associate degree programs, and a bunch of certificate programs, right? This is where we become a competitive institution that meets the demand of the workforce. Right? The market is calling for leaders, and there aren't enough institutions to turn out the leaders that the industry is calling for. Not just numbers, but quality. Quality leaders. And that's why a good liberal arts education is so important, because you have a broad view of the world. You have an interdisciplinary approach to problem solving. This is really, really important. And once we get this thing right, businesses and corporations will be beating down the doors to get Payne graduates. They'll be asking, how can I get me one of them Payne students? I mean, some of them are doing it now. I get emails almost every day from someone asking for a recommendation for a scholarship or for a program for Payne students. Now, here's the sad thing, y'all. Can we just have a family discussion right now? Y'all are leaving opportunities on the table left and right. First of all, read your emails, because there are opportunities that are presented to you. There are scholarships that you all won't even fill out the essay for. Dr. Felder has a bunch of scholarships through the Methodist Foundation and United Methodist Church he's been trying to get y'all to sign up for. That's free money, y'all. And then you end up coming to the president's office asking to help get you registered because you don't have enough money to pay your bill. Right? There are United Negro College Fund has all kinds of scholarships. There are a bunch of scholarships. You have to take control of your destiny. You have to do it. You have to do it. There's no excuse. You've got all these opportunities. So this is me ranting for just a moment. I want you to hear my heart, because I want the best for y'all. I really do. And I need you all to meet me halfway. Go get those scholarships. Go get that money, y'all. It's there for you. And it will, not only will it help you complete your education, but these scholarships also put you in touch with people that you otherwise would not be in touch with. You get invited to forums and symposiums and all kinds of things that will help give you a competitive advantage. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I just wish all of you all did. So this strategic plan comes alive when you take advantage of the plan. You got to plan your work and work your plan. So I'm almost done. Next slide. So here's the future capital projects. So technology, is big. STEM is really big. The sciences are really big. And Payne used to have a very, very strong science program. Payne has produced amazing scientists, doctors, and researchers that came through this institution. That's the renaissance that we want to return to in the sciences. And even if you're not a STEM major, you need to be acquainted with STEM. You need to have an interdisciplinary approach, because the critical skills that come through studying science will help you apply those to every other area of your life. So don't say, I'm not good at math. That's an excuse, right? You can still engage math and the sciences to help you broaden your understanding of the world. Business Instruction Hub. Business is still our #1 major, and we want to capitalize on that and strengthen it in our relationship with banking and finance and the business community. Hispanic living and learning communities. We have right now about a 20% of our students identify as Hispanic, right? That's pretty significant. And we are close to being categorized as a Hispanic serving institution. You can still be an HBCU and be a Hispanic serving institution. They are not mutually exclusive, right? It's a good thing. So we're going to lean into this by providing supports and services and programs for our Latino and Latina community. We're going to be intentional about that. Honors program, we're bringing back the great honors program of Payne College. Some of you all will be part of that honors program. There will be criteria involved and high aims for you to reach, but you can do it. Some of you are already operating at that level. We just need to operationalize that and authorize that through an honors program. You'll hear more about that. I talked about the Cultural and Performing Arts Center. My goal is to build that probably in the next SPLOST cycle, Mr. Commissioner. We're going to get some funds, hopefully, from the city, but also federal funds and some of our corporate partners. I mentioned CeeLo Green, who is part owner of the catalog of James Brown's music. That's pretty major. And we're looking at returning to our teacher education program. That was Payne's claim to fame, was teacher education. We have so many alums who were taught to be teachers at Payne College. And we're going to return to that and establish a charter school and or lab school on our campus. You'll hear more about that. Next slide, I'm almost through. So here are the next steps. So the plan has already been approved by the Board of Trustees this weekend. Sharing it right now at the State of the College address. We will have listening sessions over the next few weeks. We'll be talking to different groups, constituencies from within and without Payne College, so everybody can get an understanding of what this plan is and how they can participate in the plan. We're going to publish this far and wide. The plan will be on our website. We'll create some interactive ways to learn more about the plan. We'll create some collateral that we can share with people and especially donors. And we're going to use this as the foundation for the master plan. The master plan is your plan for your entire campus, for the footprint, for the use of the facilities, and the expansion of your footprint, right? We'll be looking at what we need to look like over the next 10 years. And I'm hoping when y'all come back from homecoming in 2036, you'll be like, wow, look at this campus. And you can say, I remember when, right? That's where we're headed. Okay, next slide. So I say to you, welcome to Payne Pride. Welcome to the Pride, Lions. This is the new Payne College. And you all should be excited about the new Payne College. You should be excited about the new Payne College. So I'm going to take a few minutes to answer questions or feedback that you might have. We'll take about 5 minutes because we all got to get to Fried Chicken Wednesday. Any questions, students, that you have? Y'all all right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. Woo, give it up. Class of 76. Wow. That's right.
We have to constantly be doing that, and we should be doing that. Scholarships are available, just like you said, because you think that you may not get that scholarship. You already knocked yourself out.
That's right.
To get that scholarship.
Yeah.
Put in for the scholarship. You'd be surprised that people don't even put in for the scholarship. You might be the only person
That's right.
who put in for that scholarship and got the scholarship.
Yep.
Don't knock yourself out. You already got our thing with the color of our skin. That already takes away from what's already. That's one of the ones already. So don't add to it. Believe in yourself. This president has said a lot of things. I'll be 73 in a couple of days. And what he said inspired me at this age now. So if it doesn't inspire you, shame on you. Okay? When I was coming up, I had a desire, but there was no opportunity. You got the opportunity with the desire. That's all I can say as a graduate of Payne College.
Thank you, sir. Give it up. We're so happy to have alums come back. And my hat is off to you. 50 years. Congratulations, sir. Yes. Yes, Brother Fenoy.
Bill Fenoy, class of 1972.
72. Give it up for 72. He flexing on 76.
But this lesson is to the students.
Yes, sir.
It is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well said. Profound statement. Thank you to our alumni for sharing. Any other alumni feel so led to say a little word to these students while you got them? It's homecoming. It's homecoming. Any other alumni? All right. So this plan will not sit on a shelf. It's going to be actualized and operationalized immediately. We are not waiting. The board has given us the okay. They may not know what they've done by giving us permission to run with this plan. They may not know, but we're going to run with it. I got a provost who's ready to run. I got people on the team who are ready to run. And hopefully I got some students who are ready to run. This is your time. You'll be able to look back. You see these alums who here, think about it, 50 years, 56 years, right? Think about it. Think about it, that they're still around to look back at their institution. Who knows where you will be in 10 years or 20 years? And I'm believing that y'all gonna be so successful that you'll come back with big fat checks for Payne College, right? That's your responsibility to give to your alma mater. You gotta do it because it's not just for you, it's for future generations. So we want you all to be successful. That's our self-interest so that you will be able to support your alma mater. But we believe in you, and we want you to just believe in yourself. Brother just said it to you. Don't leave opportunity on the table. Be prepared for every opportunity that comes your way. And you do that by paying attention while you're a student here at Payne College. Finally, let me just say to you, homecoming is really special. For many of you in this room, this is your first homecoming. Take it all in, enjoy it, engage in everything. You can sleep next week. Go to everything. Enjoy homecoming. You don't want it to be said that you missed out on anything at Payne's homecoming, and it's pretty special. So take advantage of all the activities that will happen. Especially want you to show up for the parade. Get up Saturday morning. I said get up Saturday morning and come to the parade. It's really special. It's a part of a tradition that goes way back for African Americans. We love parades, right? It means so much to us as a people to see our folks holding our heads up high and riding or walking or marching in the parade. It's just a part of who we are. So don't miss this opportunity. You'll see a lot of our alums and a lot of our friends will be out there for that. And of course, we got our big games on Saturday, so make sure y'all come out to support that. So, oh yeah, tonight, thank you for the reminder. Gospel Explosion tonight. We got one of the best artists, Melvin Crispell is gonna be here, and other local artists will be here. It's amazing in terms of the talent that's gonna be in this place tonight for the Gospel Explosion. So y'all please come out, it won't be long, just kind of starts at 7, is that right? 7 o'clock tonight, or is it 6? 7. So y'all come on out, hang out tonight, and get that experience, and then go to the events that'll happen after that. And of course, tomorrow, baseball game tomorrow. What time? 12? Did you say 12, Coach? All right, 12. Okay, 12:30, y'all. Support our baseball team. This is the start of their season. We want to give them a good boost. Give it up for the baseball team. All right. And give it up for the softball team. All right. And we'll be at the games this weekend. I don't know who we playing, but it don't matter. We better win our homecoming games. Don't y'all embarrass me at homecoming. You got to win the homecoming game. Keep your head up high when you win homecoming. All right. Dr. Felder, I'm going to call on you to give us our closing prayer. Thank you all for your patience. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Join me now as the family as we pray together. And why don't we stand and pray together? Oh God, because of the great vision that you have given to us, because of the great insight, because of the great hope and the promise of your presence with us as we go through the years, we give you thanks. We praise you and bless you, and we lift you high in the midst of us and in the midst of all that we do. Grant that as we go from this place today, that we may go with our hearts on fire with hope and with fire with possibility, that we may see the light of your loving presence in all that we do and say, surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. We claim these blessings now in the name of our blessed Lord. Amen.
Good job.